Okay, everything should be good. Well, aloha there. We're going to be heading towards uh, article. Which one should be from Motherboard or from Waypoint? Well, we're going to Motherboard because it's related about gaming. However, it's more like tech. But we're reading it just because it's really absurd. A really absurd story about a doctor who is a gamer and he rages to his followers about him being a real gamer while having someone's life in the line. Doctor apologizes for ranting about console wars from operating room. The anesthesiologist, who goes by Dr. Shivera on Twitter and YouTube, recorded himself in front of an unconscious patient by Samantha Cole. We get this. So, oh yeah, that's the show day. Yeah, March 8th, 2022. So this was around 2 months ago, less than 2 months ago, stretching to that point. People are review bombing a hospital in India with 1-star reviews after a doctor tweeted a video of himself during a procedure with an unconscious patient. The anesthesiologist, who goes by Dr. Shrivera on Twitter and his YouTube channel, filmed himself supposedly in an active operating room where he had just anesthetized a patient and was preparing for an invasive procedure to remove a gallbladder. He claimed to be defending himself against people claiming he is not a real doctor because they disagree with his passion for the console wars. End quote, console wars. Console Wars is short-headed for the decade-long argument between gamers about which platform, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo devices, PC gaming, and so on, is the best. Shariva posted the video to Twitter, writing, "Here I am after inducing anesthesia, intubating, and putting a patient on controlled mechanical ventilation for a laparoscopic colostomy case in or slandering my identity, profession, cause you Xbox can't argue facts." According to gaming news outlet Dextero, he added, "Saving lives, my job, console wars, my hobby." He was allegedly trying to defend himself for accusation that he wasn't a real doctor, sure. Wow, trying to speak some gaming lingo. Yeah. I guess that it's the same lingo they're using against him. So, yeah. Also, I didn't say his age, probably not any personal accounts other than his last name, so I guess that it is not stated that an article for a particular reason, but I'm imagining a middle-aged person just doing this because it's more funny of a person just speaking all that lingo while just being, man, in an elderly position or in a seniority position. Dextor, which viewed the video before Shavera locked his Twitter account, says he pans around an operating room holding up the phone to record himself showing the patient on the operating table. People watching the video think they found the hospital where he works, Meta Hope Hospitals and Research Century in India. Center. Or is it Century? I don't know English. Center in India, and are posting 1-star reviews to its Google page. Motherboard has reached out to the hospital for comment and to confirm whether he works there and will update if we hear back. Okay, there's actually information here and stuff about 100 reviews, 1 star. Just Doom guy, just one star in this. Another one who says anesthesia must always pay attention to the patient given the phase vital signs can change and the incident could be life-threatening. Nice to know that he has time to pull out his phone and argue about video games on the internet. And there's a picture of DiCaprio dressed as Candyman from, was it Django? Yeah, Django. The 33 Omnivious one. An anesthesiologist posted a video with his patients privately infoed, and he did not make fun of video games players. One review says, one of the doctors decided to share a patient's personal information for the sake of console wars. Get this under control. Quote unquote. Says another, as a PlayStation fanboy, why would they talk about console wars in Metal Hope, who does it seriously? Posting a video of this patient about personal information on Twitter and giving is really, really illegal. More like, that's a stupidest thing Dr. Shirabat posted about on Twitter for the console wars. It's not even right at all, seriously. Another wrote, almost 50 reviews have been posted since the video. So it seems like they're still talking about that. Shivera posted an unlisted apology video on YouTube on Monday saying that he's received a lot of backlash and racist harassment because of this video. He says he regrets posting the video and acknowledges that his obsession with console wars is childish, but also tries defending himself and his hobby. You know, I think if you are a soldier in these console wars, you have some forgiving to learn. This sounds like he was really militant when it came to his passion, to the point that he is a participant in console wars. Makes me wonder about his other videos he posted. I'm a human being, guys. I make mistakes. Please let's move on ahead, he said. Oh wait. Alright, what to do, voice. Yeah. Woohoo! I do not hate anyone on a personal level. If I do not like the console they're playing, I just make points regarding what the console is giving you. This is just a hobby of mine. Judging from his YouTube channel, Shivera is clearly a PlayStation fan and an Xbox hater. He has specific beefs ranging from Xbox possibly looking down some exclusive games by acquiring Skyrim and Fallout developer Bethesda, the perceived shortcomings with LMB, The Show 21, and PS5 being somehow held back by having to release on Xbox as well. Neither of these points make a ton of sense, but this is how things go on with this so-called console wars. They are wars of passion that make people act irrationally, like posting rants from the operating room. Original reporting on everything that matters in your inbox. Where I can subscribe and such. It's but they don't have comments. No, they should have comments. I put some before. Okay. What the fuck was this? Is this related to the... No! This is another thing. Ukrainian developer Frogger delays Xbox One Sherlock Holmes to the war. Yeah, I already read through that. And there's this guy's made a bong out of literally everything. Which is... Okay, that's the story. That is why. This man behind the flashlight bong has made 75 smoke apparatuses? Smoking apparatuses out of household objects, and it's still going. Okay, well, he made a collection. But yeah, there is no comments here. There is just this news report and everything here. Okay, I thought it would be a long article, but I think there's just this story. The story just lasts this long. What do I do? I want to figure out any other videos that posted. I think his channel's dead. I figure that's why he's not posted it, but each reviewer, this is the first time I'm reading an article from Samantha Cole And she doesn't post any video links, but she does show pictures, unlike the other one about Shrek and a game appearing in Steam's game library for users. So there's that stuff. But yeah, that was just part of the story. Now here's the other one by Emmanuel Mayberg. To understand the image, we must first understand its historical context. Title: Why did a Nazi Sonic appear in the Sega magazine? Now, let's see the picture. Yeah, okay, I could see it. It looks like Nintendo products, looks like a kid, but there's an armband with a swastika on it. And this is Sega Power, along with Sonic shooting a rifle while looking at another person. Okay, that's more creepy. Along with Mario just being... Mario's head just being here. Oh man, I hope he didn't just shoot Mario. He has his face and stuff, and his eyeball just comes in. Man, this is creepy. But we'll see more about this. Seeing an image of Sonic the Hedgehog as a Nazi wouldn't even make blink in the year 2020. I've been looking at the internet for too long to be shocked by fascist imagery or weird fan art of Sega's beloved mascot. In a way, the marriage of the two is inevitable, a kind of Rule 34 without the sex. Though you can find a very sexy picture of Nazi Sonic as well if you ever looked. Oh man. How... Man, I'm just imagining that's what the person was thinking about when rowing that. It looks like he did, so it just searched. Google image search, Nazi Sonic. And see the images himself. There is a Photoshop of Hitler's body with his friend's tail, saluted the Nazi flag. One of these images is not like the rest. However, it's from the moderately viral tweet from the October 29, 2020, showing a lovely hand-drawn Sonic with a swastika armband and a rifle, similarly blowing up Mario, his rival mascot from Nintendo, 2-bits. Unlike the other internet detritus, the Google search turns up. This one, by contrast, has a childish charm. I mean, it does look like a picture made by Sanchu, sure, but... Oh, it's funny. Yeah, well, that was not too long ago. And yeah, people are still posting these things, even though they know how insensitive some people could view it. And it looks like now they're reporting it after 2 years later. So it's probably something that was very hyped and it just died down, and they just need something to talk about, something outrageous to talk about related to video gaming. We'll see how much this is related to video gaming, other than just being an absurd thing that people online know. More interesting, however, is that the image was originally published in the June 1992 issue of Sega Power, a magazine devoted to the video game company, its games, and the fandom around it. How in the world, any reasonable reader today might ask, did a popular gaming magazine publish Nazi Sonic fan art? Well, 1992. Well, I know that people were pretty militant about Nintendo and Sega products, especially with the two mascots, as Sonic was created to rival Sonic. No, not Mario. Not Sonic Mario, but yeah, Mario. So yeah, there's that. To the fact that it's like a World War II scenario, and everybody are fighting each other. I think this shows why the console wars were created. It's probably these publishers themselves years ago who actually made people very, very passionate in their hobbies and to go against something that they tell them to go against. It's more like Nintendo. And to understand this image, we must first understand the historical context. By 1992, the Cold War has ended and the console war was heating up. It is the fourth generation, or 16-bit era of consoles. The Super Nintendo Entertainment System, SNES, or SNES, has been in the market for 2 years, and the Sega Genesis for a couple more. The Nintendo Entertainment System has completely dominated the previous generation and is widely considered to have pulled the video game industry out of 1980 1983's great video game crash. Has there been other video game crashes other than 1983? Man. I guess there was, but I wouldn't say it's a crash. It's more like recessions. Well, in video game media, but anyway, I digress. In 1992, Nintendo's position was less dominant. The Genesis launched a lower price point and continuously outsold the SNES during the Christmas shopping season. The Genesis had a sleek, black, edgy look and the marketing to match. Genesis does that, Nintendo don't, as the famous ad said. And yeah, it actually has the ad. Can I play it? Yeah, I guess I could play it because of it being an old advertisement commercial, and it's only part of it. Let me actually see what's the runtime for it. Yeah, actually. It's a short one, it should be all good. But I should play this, I think once I finish the article. We'll see, depending on time. Key to his edginess was Sonic, who did retreat from Nintendo's lovable goofball Mario from taking on a kind of routine attitude. If you let him ideal for a bit in the game, he'll break the fourth wall looking at the counter and start tapping his foot, urging you to get on with it. Over the years, these mascots became the avatars of the console wars, which is why PlayStation launched with an ad of Crash Bandicoot in front of Nintendo headquarters, calling them Mario a plumber boy. Yeah, plumber boy. I'm actually read this voice. Plumber boy. This intense rivalry and brand affiliation as gamer identify largely define mainstream gaming culture when Sega Power published the June 1992 issue. Back then, magazines like Nintendo Power published fan art in their reader letters sections, and it's no surprise then that the June 1992 issue of Sega Power includes a lot of anti-Nintendo drawings. Yeah, just getting more outrageous there. There's a short comic where Shinobi cuts off Mario's stomach with a sword to help him lose some weight. I need to lose some weight. You're right about that, you fat. Sting, okay. Well, you need to get rid of this flab. Yeah. You need to diet. Okay, what the? Sega Power, June 1992. One of Sonic punching Mario's face. Oof. Oh god, that's so bloody. Dude, what the Another revealing that Mario is bald beneath his iconic hat. Mario with hat, Mario without hat, is the professor's long-lost son, Sonny Boy, Papa. I think they're trying to be offensive with him being a child of somebody. Why is it offensive? Maybe it's just something around the time they thought, okay, what the fuck? So huge. Oh my god. Okay. I'm just gonna get through this. One particular molded fan art depicts Mario with a noose around his neck while Sonic shoots him with a pistol and Luigi is decapitated in the background by Alex Kidd. Okay, yes, we see this. What the fuck? The image of Nazi Sonic is slightly just shocking with missiles among these images above, but it's still pretty bad. A note with the editor alongside the image reads, a white ring Sonic blasts a small chap who wears an M on his hat to Kingdom Come. The artist, none other than Alexander Burschel from Shelfeld. That... Dude, I'm just reading this article and I'm learning a lot of things that have gone on in these console wars. That article I just read past about this doctor who got flack about that. Yeah, I think he got radicalized with the console wars, and this is one part of console war history. Jesus Christ. Andy Smith, the editor of Sega Power at the time, told me that the issue was in fact published during the height of the Nintendo versus Sega wars in the UK, and that the magazine published fan art as a way of connecting with readers. For some of those readers, kids, he assumed, seeing their art in the magazine meant the world to them. And I think this goes with how Sonichu writes in a figurative style. I'm not going to digress, but part of it has to go with how Sonichu had his art style in a particular way that is very similar to kiddish, and it just remains like that. It hasn't evolved to become more dandy and more sophisticated. It just remains as a stagnant art piece, like it's just following an art style itself. It's not trying to progress their own personal contemporary art and their craftsman skills. And I think this is one reason he wanted to mimic that art style in order to channel with his own ideology of how he sees things, black and white, old militant, like, damn. As this particular image, the armband, was not considered a big issue back in those days, Smith said, perhaps we simply weren't as woke as we are now, but I think we were perhaps better at seeing things in context. The whole idea of this particular sketch is to yeah, that's my voice now. Particular sketch is to show Sonic, Sega blowing away Mario, Nintendo, and that was about as far as it went. Literally. In Smith's opinion, the Nazi armband was just a way to convey that Sonic was a ruthless force to be reckoned with. Maybe that was naivety, but I don't think anyone, and certainly not me as an editor at the time, thought it was so outrageous that it shouldn't be printed. We also tagged the image as right-wing in the caption, which I hope would give people the idea that we didn't approve of right-wing extremism, but I doubt anyone ever noticed that. More than anything, Smith regrets Dan's Crap Corner, a part of the letter section where Sega Power shared the worst fan art it got from mail. Naturally, I thought I was being hilarious, and thankfully someone with more sense than me told I was just being insensitive. Smith said the name was dropped and simply called the Sega Power Gallery. After a few issues, but it still haunts me, and I'm deeply sorry for my callous actions and unintentionally pain I may have caused to anyone who ever had a picture of theirs featured in Dan's Crap Corner. I was unable to reach Dan for comment. Dan's Crap Corner. Boy, we do... yeah, I'm trying to do a voice there because I'm really having a hard time keeping it with my nasally voice. Dan's Crap Corner. Boy, do we get some naff pictures sent here. No offense, but you got to be seriously barking to draw some of this stuff. I mean, do you guys really try being this bad, or does it come naturally? Oh dear. And yeah, you actually had this picture where he's just showing fan art and stuff with his weird face. It's hard to imagine that Smith or anyone else at Sega Power intended to do harm when they printed the Nazi Sonic image, but naivety is probably the right way to describe the decision. It was hard to imagine back in 1992, but the gamer identity manufactured by marketing campaigns and defined by rejection of others, be that the fans of competing consoles or women entirely, have dire consequences. Yes, this does show that a organization, a group of people itself, really have made people do things in a particular way, even when it comes to corporate competition. These consoles wars was started because of video game rivalry, not because of people. And that is creepy, because now it's frowned upon by these companies and stuff. But who knows, maybe they are a bit of supportive of that. I don't know. I think that goes to conspiracy talk, but I just don't want to dwell with this, because right now I gotta finish this article, and oh boy, it's a lot to go over with. But the gamer identity, manufactured by marketing campaigns and defined by rejection of others, be they fans of competing consoles or women entirely, had dire consequences. The idea that one console is inherently better than another evolved into the idea that there is a superior type of player, or the right way to play or like a video game. As we can see, as early as 1992, this quickly evolved into a rivalry that jokes about violence. Yeah. 2 decades later, some of the people who were steeped in the culture and marketing went on to developing similar but more hateful views on inclusion in the form of Gamergate. People were rejected and threatened with violence, and not just for that kind of games they liked and what consoles they played on, but their race or gender. Yeah, now it's talking to another topic. I do wonder if the person actually made another article related to Gamergate or anything related to it. But let's see. On one hand, labeling the image of Nazi Sonic as right-wing seems to minimize the fascist racist worldview, but on the other hand, it's also very clear about the right-wing politics were and are. It's an interesting sign of this times that a magazine thoughtful enough to run an image of Nazi Sonic also felt that calling him right-wing Sonic was enough of a disclaimer to avoid accusation of endorsing Nazi fan art. Reactionary politics would spend the next couple decades obscuring their movement's racism and fascism, and by the time they burst into the mainstream gaming culture with Gamergate in 2014, they've been successful enough that it took months or years before the movement was widely recognized as a home for extremist ideologies. If publishing the image was insistent and not woke by today's standards, the caption was at least not hand-wringing about whether it was being unfair to right-wingers when it was called them Nazis. Yeah, this is paralyzed more into what's going on in 2014 and how extremist ideologies themselves come in. Not because Gamergate, because what is it? They even said that gaming culture around Gamergate had a moment in spotlight. But there was also several things that were going on, especially when it comes to the MAGA movement, radical Islam, and then other things that were going on. Yeah. But did a 1992 Nazi Sonic fan art protected all of that? Probably not. But the gaming culture eventually caught up with the worst way you could see the image today. Yeah, pretty much. And it doesn't explain why other people find the Nazi symbolism more enticing versus the gore and violence in these images. But I guess that people can rally more into that upcoming threat, since it mentioned Gamergate. Yeah, it's referring to gaming culture, which had an issue with that, along with other ideologies that have issues with that. So yeah, this is a sum up point, which let me see how it actually ends. Yeah, 2 decades later, some of the people were steeped into this culture, and marketing went to develop similar but more hateful views on exclusion in the form of Gamergate. So, due to similar but more hateful views, okay, this is referring to the general people who participate and were a part of the Sega campaign, who later, 2 decades later, started getting into heated arguments, heated scenarios, and extremist ideologies that, they later lead to Gamergate and then other things. Even though that's still a form of a developing situation, because what is it? People still don't know everything what's going on in that event, and it's still evolving. Because yeah, that was a eventful time that people are trying to sum up, especially of who were the participants in that case. Yeah, there's a lot to cover. Man. Let's see through the chat. Emmanuel Malmberg. I actually want to search up more articles with him, if it actually does display more articles. Okay. Yeah, tech, games, tech. Let me actually sprung through. Okay, yeah. 44. Wow, he actually did a lot of them. I guess that Yeah, since it was 2022. Maybe he wrote about it back in 2014 or several things, but yeah, I'll keep that in mind. And yeah, looking through everything he says and more about this does show how this console war has a staple in history. But anywho, I'll check on Vice News Gaming next time. So, in any words, aloha and see you.